Hey guys, welcome back to the Crochet with Kelsey channel. In this video today, I'm going to be showing you every single plushie that I made in the month of May. So this part of the video will actually be like a part one because I actually have a market that I'm going to tomorrow. So I wanted to show everything that I've made this month now in case it sells at the market. So I'm going to start with the smaller items and work my way up to the bigger items. So I have a little claw machine that I take with me to markets, and I make tiny little plushies to put in there so people can play to win. And I made quite a few claw machine items. So I made 5 of these little chicks. So these little chicks are really perfect for keychains, for claw machine items. It is a pattern by me, it's free on my Instagram, and it's also part of my claw machine pattern pack that I sell, which features this little chick as well as 5 other little creatures that are like the perfect little size for things like that. So 5 of those are going to my market with me. And the chicks are always such a great seller for me at markets. I'm really excited to see how they do with this one. And I also made 2 little chickens to go along with those as claw machine items. So this is also a little pattern by me. It's available on YouTube as a free tutorial, so be sure to check that out. These also really sell really well for me at markets. And then I made 5 little octopi. So these little octopi are a pattern from Sweet Softies. It's called her 10-minute octopus, and they are absolutely perfect. Again, they're great for keychains, they're great for the claw machine, and I have made probably hundreds of these in my life just because they sell so well and I keep having to restock them. So I made 3 of those in blue and 2 of them in purple. And those are all the new claw machine items that I made. So I also made a bunch of keychains. I needed to restock my keychain rack. And for this market, I'm trying out some new patterns that I haven't tried before and some new keychain styles to kind of keep things fresh, because who likes making the same thing over and over and over again for years? Not me, but I do it anyway because if it sells, it sells. But the keychains that I made this time that are actually new to me are these cute little strawberries. So they're from a account on Instagram. This is a free pattern from myuniverse64, and they're so perfect, they're so cute. And I really think that people will like them. And these probably took me less than 10 minutes each. So really great if you're looking for some of those quicker makes. Up next, I'm sure all of you have probably seen this pattern, whether you've made it yourself or you've just seen it online, but this is the little whale pattern from All From Jade. And I love these, and Max is here to make an appearance. And they're just really great. They always sell really well for me, and they're just absolutely the perfect keychain size. So I made 2 of those to bring to my market. I also made another new keychain, which I didn't really use a pattern for this. I kind of just made a ball and then I put eyes on it. But I made these 2 little soot sprites as keychains, and like I said, they're very simple, but you know, people love Studio Ghibli, me included, so I think that hopefully these have a good chance of selling. But for the patterns that I haven't tried out before at my markets for keychains, I only made like 2 to 3 of them just to kind of test the waters and see if they are something that I should continue to make for future markets or not. So 2 of those, and if you're interested in making one of these, I just made a ball that goes from 6 single crochet in a magic ring all the way to 24 single crochet around for 3 rounds and then decrease down to the end, but they're just super cute. But yeah, you just have to make a ball whatever size you want, and then you just cut out some little felt for your eyes and then put little safety eyes in them. So I think these are really cute. Hopefully they sell. And then I made some more little chicks to go on keychains. So I made 5 of these that I will be using for my keychains, and that's the same pattern that I showed y'all earlier. And then I also made 2 of my little chickens to be keychains as well. And the chicken keychains seem to sell really well, so I only have 2 right now. So I knew I needed to make a couple more just to have that as an option. But I really like these little guys, and they're super quick. And the next and final pattern that is a new pattern that I have not tried out at my markets yet is this cute little frog. I really like these a lot. I think they're so cute. They're a little derpy and they're like the perfect size for a keychain. I can definitely see people rocking these on their purse or backpack. And it's a pattern that I found for free on Instagram by Oh My Yarn. So be sure to check out this little pattern, and yeah, I really like it. And I have a good feeling about these, but again, I only wanted to make a few just because I don't want to make a lot of something if it doesn't seem to be selling, but I love them. So that's all the keychains that I made for my market. And I know you might think it doesn't seem like I made a whole lot. It's because I have like previous inventory of some claw machine items and some keychains that I've had left over in my inventory, so that's why I only made like a few. And yeah, that's all of the little tiny guys that I made. So next I'm going to move up a size and show you some of the little $10 items that I made. So at my markets, I like to do mystery boxes, and I recently like rebranded them to be blind boxes with all of the Pop Mart hype, which of course now that's dying down, so who knows if it was even worth it to change the name. But I changed my little sign. It just said mystery boxes and now it says blind boxes, and it shows you each of the plushies that you would be able to get if you purchase a blind box. So this is what they look like. I just get these little boxes on Amazon and I put a little question mark sticker on them, and inside you will find a little plushie and a sticker. So this is the first of the mystery box items that I have. So this is a little chick. So this is a pattern from Close Knit Crochet. It is actually part of a pattern bundle for birds on swings. So there's lots of other birds, but I just don't put it on the swing to put them in the mystery box, and I think they're really cute, and I made 3 of those to bring to my market. And then for my mystery boxes, I also made 2 little whales. So these whales are a free pattern from Petite Soirée Crochet on Instagram. I probably don't pronounce that right, but it's a little bubble whale, and I have been making these since I started doing markets pretty much. So I really like this pattern. It works up super quickly, and also the plushie is a decent size. It's a little bit bigger of some of the other mystery box items, so I really like this one and I highly recommend it. Next, I made one little bear. This is actually a no-sew gummy bear pattern from Crochet by Lana, but I just add eyes and a little nose to make it like a regular bear. So that's another mystery box item. And then last but not least, for the mystery boxes, I made 2 of these adorable little octopi from Sweet Softies pattern. This is her 20-minute octopus. So this is her 10-minute one, and then this is her 20-minute one. But it actually takes me a little less than 20 minutes. So they are really cute. They're perfect. And again, I've been making this pattern since pretty much I started selling plushies. So it's a great one. They always sell really good, and people are excited when they get these in their mystery box. So up next, we have some little car mirror charms. So for outdoor markets, I like to make my car mirror charms, and I put them on the outside of my tent so they can kind of like hang at the front. So whenever people walk by, it'll kind of grab their attention. But this is one of my top sellers for my car mirror charms, and it's this adorable little chicken. So this is also from the Birds on Swings pattern from Close Knit Crochet. I do everything the same way, except I just make the bird totally white, and then I add a little comb, I think it's called a comb, on top, and I love the way they turn out, and people seem to really like them. Every single one that I've ever made has sold. So I am very excited to bring these little guys to my market. And I didn't want to stop there for the swinging pattern, so I decided I wanted to make a few more. So this is a pattern that I've made in the past, but I haven't made it in a really long time. I mean, I think I just made the one for whenever I tested it, but it sold a long time ago, so I decided it's time to make some more. So these are the little Soot Sprite car mirror charms that I made from Becky's Plushies pattern. So they're really cute. I added a little star on them, and there's a pattern for it in that pattern as well. And I think they're cute. They're just so whimsical, and I would absolutely love to have one of these little guys just hanging in my car. So 3 of those were made. And last but not least, I made a couple of items to go in my $12 bin, and I wanted to make some Pokemon because Pokemon just always sell really well, and I haven't been making as many lately. So I thought it would be nice to make some little ones to add to my $12 bin. So I've seen this pattern and it's been on my list for a really long time, but it's this little ditto from Crafted for Comfort. Seriously, he is the absolute cutest. I love him so much, and I think these are going to be perfect for that bin. Honestly, I could probably sell them for a little bit more, but I also have like some Pikachus in that bin, and I am just gonna pop them in there. But they're really quick and they turn out to be a pretty good size. So I highly recommend this pattern. I highly recommend any pattern from Crafted for Comfort, and if you like Pokemon, she makes a ton of amazing Pokemon patterns that you should definitely go check out. So those are all of the smaller items that I made, but I did make some other larger makes this month, and it all started out with this adorable bunny. So this is a pattern from Snuggle Beans Crochet, and I kind of got back from being away for a little while, and I wanted something like quick and easy to make. I know that Snuggle Bean Crochet's little sploot patterns are really quick and they work up amazingly fast, and they're really cute at the same time. So this was my first make of May. So this little bunny is Beans the Bunny, and it is sold by itself and also in a bundle with some other of her little sploots, and I can't recommend these patterns enough. They're absolutely adorable, and I am excited to bring little beans to my market. Then I got selected for a pattern test from a creator that I really wasn't familiar with yet, and turns out it was actually their first pattern they had ever written. So this next pattern that I'm about to show you is from the Crocheting Goblin, and I am just blown away that this was somebody's first pattern that they put out because it's so cute. It's amazing. So let me just show it to you. Words can't do it justice. So here it is. So this is the Dream Goblin. I think it is absolutely perfect. I love the little hood. I love the little details on it and the little stars that are down here, and the little paws are so cute. So I really enjoyed making this. It's been a while since I've like tested another pattern that's a little bit larger, but I'm really glad that I tested this one because it is so cute, and I would highly, highly, highly recommend this pattern if you're looking for some more whimsical makes. I really enjoyed every second of making it, and I think the pattern was so well written, and it's honestly so impressive that it is their first pattern that they've ever released. So go support the Crocheting Goblin if you can, and show some love to her little Dream Goblin pattern. But I really had fun with this one. Then I completed another pattern test, and again, this is a pattern from Snuggle Beans Crochet, but as you saw, she has all of her sploot patterns that are amazing just the way they are, but she released a tester call for some mini sploots. So one of the mini sploots was a little unicorn, and it turned out so cute. Like, just look at the size difference. It's just a little mini version. It's so cute. I love it so much. And the little horn is perfect. The little curls are just so cute. And I love the colors that I used for this one, but the pattern is now released, so you can also make your own little Una the unicorn. And yeah, I really can't get over this one. After I finished it and saw how small it was, I was obsessed, and I will definitely be making some more mini sploot patterns. I think the next one that I want to make is the Toothless Dragon. That's the same size as this, and I just think that'll be so cute. And then last but not least, if you watch my videos, I'm sure you're probably sick of seeing these guys, but I wrote some new patterns in the month of May, and they are called the Little Mythics. So it is a series of 3 little mythical creatures that I made in my little weirdo style. So the first little one we have is Jupiter the Jackalope. So he has his fun little horns, he has his cute little ears, and I really just like him. And the beauty of this body shape is that they can also sit really nicely just like that. And yeah, I really enjoyed making these. They were a lot of fun. And you can go watch my video from 2 weeks ago to hear a little more about like my process in making these. But that is little Jupiter. And the next little mythic that I created was Jinx the Gargoyle. So this is him. He has a cute little barbed tail, and he has some nice little gargoyle wings. And I think out of all of them, this one looks the cutest sitting down because he looks like he's just guarding something, but that's little Jinx. And then last but not least, we have my little Pegasus that I made. This is Jubilee the Pegasus, and she's just really adorable, and she's kind of unlike anything I've ever made because I've never created a pattern that has hair. So it was a little bit of a challenge, but it was really fun. So this is her, and I love her little wings, and her bangs might need to be styled a little better. There we go. And she has a lot of hair. She has a lot of volume. She has a cute little tail, and I really liked her. But I really enjoyed making all of these little patterns, and maybe by the time this video is out, they will be released. But I'm gonna be bringing all of that stuff to my market, so I just wanted to take this little like part 1 video to kind of be able to document everything that I've made for the month, to do my monthly pattern roundup that I've been doing this year. So I will also tune in at the end of the month and show you anything else that I have made since then. But as of right now, with all of the market patterns, and yes, it does include some smaller plushies, but the total plushie count comes to 50 plushies, which is a lot. Even though some of them are small, I still think it's a lot. So we'll see what it comes to when the month is over. Hello there. So it has been a week or so since I took my part 1 video, and now it's time for part 2. So this is everything that I've made after my market. So the day after my market, I was really in the mood to crochet, which is kind of surprising because I feel like I usually need a day of doing nothing to kind of recover, but I didn't crochet any at the market, so I figured I was ready to create a new pattern. And since the month was coming to an end, I decided to go ahead and get my Patreon exclusive pattern knocked out for the month of June. So this is a little guy that I created for my Patreon exclusive pattern for June, and his name is Oakley the Owlbear. So how I came up with this is I asked on Patreon if anyone had any specific patterns that they'd like to see for the Patreon exclusive pattern of June, and somebody commented owlbear, and I can't lie, I wasn't really familiar with what an owlbear is, but after doing a little bit of digging, a little bit of research, and a little bit of going on Pinterest, I found a lot of cute inspiration pictures, so that is how little Oakley the owlbear was born. So this was my first make after the market. He's super cute, and by the time you're watching this, the pattern will probably be out on Patreon, I think. So yeah, I'll link it in the description. So if you want to join the Patreon, you can get this little pattern for free. And on the Patreon, I upload a new pattern every single month that only Patreon members can access. So after that, I was still in a pattern designing mood. So I had this idea that I wanted to make some little market minis. I kind of wanted to knock out 2 birds with 1 stone and make some, and I wanted to market prep while also creating a pattern. So I was kind of doing 2 things at once because I do have a market coming up soon. So that is how I came up with the pocket patooties idea. So they're little market-friendly makes that can sit on their stomach, and they're kind of like splooded out to the side. So usually whenever I make a crochet pattern, I can kind of like frog it and get it the way that I want it on the first try. But for making smaller patterns, it's a lot more difficult. So I actually made 5 of these plushies before I settled on a body shape that I wanted, so I will show you each of those. So this is the very first one that I made. So this one has ears that are crocheted in, and then a tail that is crocheted on after. But it was kind of looking similar to the loaf cap pattern that I'm sure everyone is familiar with. So I didn't really want to do that, and then I also wanted something that took a little less time, because it does take time to crochet the tail and sew it on and crochet the ear pieces. So this was my first attempt, and although it was okay, it wasn't perfect, so I started again. And then I made this one. Keep in mind that I'm trying to make a cat at this point. So this is a little, it looks like a hamster, but I was trying to make a cat, but that also gave me inspiration for a pattern. Now we're getting a little bit closer. It still kind of looks hamster-esque, but you know, it's a little bit better than the other one. And now we are so close. We are almost there. This one has a bit of a longer body than I wanted, and I actually posted this one and another one on Patreon to see which body style people liked best. and they like the shorter one. So this was my first draft of the shorter one, and this one still needs a little nose, but those are kind of the finals. And then I realized that I made all of these in blue yarn. Like, I know it kind of looks gray, it can probably pass for gray, but I was kind of working on them in a darker space, and then whenever I turned the lights on in the room, I was like, great, all of these are blue. So all of those will be going in my little $10 bins. I might actually put this one in my $12 bin because I do have some loaf cats in there. But in total, I made 5 plushies trying to figure out the body style that I liked. And then I switched to actual gray yarn and I made my first little pocket patootie. So this is a little cat and it's super cute and it works up in like about 10 minutes, I would say. And then once I had the body style figured out, I made a little dog in the same body style. So it's really cute. All of these are no-sew. So after making the cat and the dog, I then went back to the hamster idea because I kind of already had that in my head. And you know, this one is just a little bit shorter, a little bit smaller, but still really cute. And I was going for a pets theme at this point. So then I made a little bunny too, and the bunny turned out really cute. I kind of wanted to stop it here, but I figured, let's just add one more. So there's a little bunny and they all have the same little body style. And yeah, I really enjoyed making these. They're really cute. They're in testing right now, so maybe they'll be out by the time this video releases. They probably will be, or maybe not. Anyway, if they are, I'll link them, but if not, I won't. So then me and Millie had an idea that we wanted to release a free pattern over on Instagram and do like a collaborated pattern. And so we both said, okay, like make a dragon and then we'll compare them. So this was the first one I made. I really didn't know what I was doing. I was just kind of going along, you know, not really with a plan or anything, but this is the first one that I made. I wanted it to be market probable too, so that's why I did a bobble stitch as the nose, but it is so cursed. Like, this definitely is a cursed one, but I'll still be able to sell him, or like try to sell him. Maybe somebody will like him, but that was my first attempt. And then Millie showed me hers, and then we took some of the things from mine and then combined it with some of the things from hers. So this is version 2. So still a little bit cursed. I think it's something with the eyes that makes it look like that. But yeah, he definitely has like a huge mohawk. So that was my second attempt, but it's getting a little bit better. So that's actually the end of everything that I made in June, but I did want to show y'all what the pocket dragon is going to look like because I don't want to like leave those cursed dragons in your mind, and I want y'all to be excited about this free pattern. But this was the final result that we came up with. It's just like a little chunky dragon, and I made 2 of them, but these will be included in my next pattern roundup because I did make them in June. So I think they're super cute though. So that's all the plushies that I made in the month of May. I think it was a very good month. Obviously my plushie count is a little bit higher because I was market prepping and making a lot of smaller items. And at the end of part 1, I was at 50 plushies. So with all of these new plushies, my total plushie count is 62 plushies for the month of May. And that is really good. I think that's really good. As always, I will link all the patterns below in the description so you can make them if you want. And if any of them stood out to you, I'd love to hear which ones you enjoyed seeing the most. And in my next video, I will be doing another market prep video. So I'm gonna try to mix it up a little bit and maybe show like how long it takes me to make the item so that y'all can get a better idea of the patterns that I'm making, just because I'm going to be remaking a lot of the same or similar items that I had in my last market prep video, which wasn't too long ago. So I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you for being here. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.